Vivi has been a fan favorite character for a long time, and other than just having a cute duck, who's such a cutie, you're such a cutie, other than just having a cute duck, Vivi has been one of the most influential characters in the entire show. So today let's talk about Vivi's effect on the story and how she will forever be an important part of One Piece. But first, let's look towards Vivi for an important life lesson.
Subscribe to Laugh Journey like I'm doing right now. Yes, hit that subscribe button like I'm smashing it right now.
What the fuck am I doing with my life? I really hope no one in my family heard that. Vivi was first introduced in chapter 103, and other than having the most complicated enemies to lovers again story arc, she quickly became a very important part of the crew. Throughout the Alabasta saga, her and Karoo the Uck's presence were felt very vividly, and she felt like a crew member as much as anyone else in the crew at the time did. Vivi's significance in the story was seen from the very start because she was the driving force behind the Straw Hats' journey to Alabasta, which we all know is one of the most iconic arcs in the entire story till date. But you may be asking, well, that's nice, but isn't she just a princess stereotype that has been done over and over and over again in One Piece? And the answer to that is that you're wrong. You're an idiot. You're stupid. Okay, wow, that was harsh. I'm sorry, I love you guys. What I meant was, Vivi was the best princess. The princess stereotype in One Piece was arguably started because of the massive success Vivi had. Now, while the successes of later princesses is, questionable, Vivi as a character is one of the most complex and well-written non-Straw Hat characters. Unlike other princesses, Vivi herself played a major part in saving her kingdom. She didn't just sit back and let the Straw Hats do all the work. Actually, for a long time, she refused to let them help. It wasn't until Luffy told her to put their lives on the line that she began to accept their help. Vivi created the princess prototype, and although later princesses feel like side characters who are there to give the Straw Hats motivation and pretty much do nothing else, Vivi was a force that actually led to the saving of her kingdom. In other words, Vivi wasn't like other princesses. She was built different. But on the topic of Vivi being different, let's talk about something she did, because it is kind of extremely important to One Piece. What Vivi did in this moment is something that thousands of people have tried to do but failed. She got something through Luffy's thick skull. This alone is one of the most incredible achievements we've seen throughout One Piece. I mean, you know how hard it is to get something through this guy's skull, and Vivi managed to do that in like a moment, so really impressive. Regardless, when the Straw Hats entered Drum Island, the civilians fired 2 shots at their ship, one of which hit Vivi in the shoulder. This led to Luffy almost going berserk and fighting everyone on the island, but Vivi stopped him and told him that fighting will only make Nami getting help a lot harder. Vivi stopping Luffy here not only directly saved Nami's life, but it also taught Luffy an important lesson. You can't always win a fight with, well, fighting. This stuck with Luffy as it eventually led to him bowing down during Amazon Lily, and this basically marks one of the most important moments of growth in Luffy's character. His understanding that sometimes it's better to bow down even if someone hurts your friend was crucial to the story, and it helped him grow as a leader. A lot of Luffy's growth throughout the story is focused on him growing into the title of captain, and this moment is arguably the largest marker of that. But at the same time, Vivi's character also let Luffy's own personal beliefs come into light. During chapter 166, when Vivi and Luffy got into a fight, both Vivi and Luffy's way of being a leader came into conflict. Vivi, as a princess, emphasized saving everyone's life, whereas Luffy had a more realistic idea because he knew that death was inevitable in a war. Luffy understood that thinking everyone will come out alive is naive, and he showed Vivi that actually putting you and your friends' lives on the line is how you can achieve peace. Both the idea that you can't always win a fight with fists and the idea that sometimes you have to put your life on the line to win can coexist, and this fight was the symbolism of that. And also, it was just an extremely emotional moment. It's not every day that Luffy and his friend get into a heated argument, and every time it does happen, it hits us like a truck, and well, this definitely hit us like a truck. Side note, but I want to highlight Sanji during all this because even though he's always worried about a woman's feelings and whatnot, he stopped Nami from interrupting Luffy because he realized what Luffy was saying was right. And that's rare for 2 reasons. Because 1, Sanji actually stopped Nami and let Luffy hurt a woman's feelings, and 2, Luffy was actually right about something, which is quite rare throughout the story. Continuing on though, let's talk about current day One Piece because 20 years after Alabasta, Nefertari Vivi is still extremely important, arguably more important than she was when Alabasta was airing. Following the events of chapter 1085, it's become clear that Vivi has become one of the most important characters to ever grace One Piece. We found out that she's a descendant of someone named Lily, who's also the reason why the Poneglyphs exist, and this also basically confirms that Vivi is a D. Coincidentally, other characters such as Foxy are also a D, a massive D. Foxy hate aside, following Cobra's assassination, Imu and the Gorosei began looking for Vivi, which means that she's wanted by the most powerful people alive, making her even more important to the story. So Vivi is quite literally one of the most important characters in the show right now. Her family's past holds the answer to the true history of the world. She's also close to Wapol, who happens to be one of 2 people who know what happened within the throne room, so well, yeah, pretty big shit. It's clear that as the story continues, Vivi will continue to be relevant and even have a large role in the final war of the story. But there is something else Vivi does exceptionally well. make us emotional. Vivi and Karu D-Up share one of the most beautiful moments with the Straw Hats, and just one of the most beautiful moments ever in all of media. The goodbye to Vivi on Alabasta makes me feel all sorts of things, and similar to Vivi in this moment, I cry a lot. It's beautiful, and in this moment, a flashback of everything we have gone through together begins to play. Vivi's goodbye is one of the most emotional and beautiful scenes I have ever seen, and the fact that Oda can craft such a beautiful scene with just a simple gesture is testament to his writing ability. But it isn't even the most emotional Vivi moment to me, because, well, I'm gonna just play the clip. This scene hits harder than an Asian mom after you get a B on a test. You can feel years and years of pain and suffering through her voice, and this is by all means a voice acting masterpiece, only rivaled by my voice acting prior in the video. The entirety of Alabasta arc was leading up to these moments, and goddammit, it's so goddamn good. I think what Vivi did best is show us how much love a ruler can have for their kingdom. I think it's reasonable to say that the Nefertari family is one of the few good rulers of a kingdom throughout the entire Grand Line, and Vivi's love for her kingdom is by far one of the most heartbreaking and impressive things I have ever seen. The final sequence of the war in particular, where she is begging for the fighting to stop, is genuinely one of the most emotional sequences ever. You can see the desperation in her eyes as her voice croaks in and out. In this moment, Vivi was the definition of desperation. You can see Nami tearing up watching as she hopelessly ran around trying to stop more of her people from dying. Vivi loved her people, and that is by far the most defining aspect of her character to me. She loved her people enough to run out there and fight for them. She loved them so much she tried to figure out ways to avoid anyone dying even though they were in the middle of a war. She loved her people enough that she put herself in danger for their sakes. Vivi just really loves her people, and because of that, she's by far one of the best leaders we have ever seen in this show. Honestly, Vivi is by far one of the best princess characters we've had in One Piece, and she's my favorite non-Straw Hat character. Honestly, out of all the characters we've had who are close to becoming a member of the crew, I think Vivi deserved it most. Yeah, there was the entire princess no associate with pirate thing, but I just wish she did, because her and Karu are just too much fun, and I genuinely feel like they are family. So, overall, what makes Vivi so special? What makes her different from the hundreds of other well-written side characters we've had in the story? The answer? Her duck's a cutie. And she changed the story, helped shape the protagonist, spearheaded emotional moments, but that ducky is so goddamn cute. I love Karu. In case you can't tell, I really, really like Karu. Overall though, that's it for me. Thank you.